Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this video from. Today we're going to be working together on file management and Linux. We're going to see 7 things. The first one is how we can list a file from a Linux machine. Number 2, how we can create some files. Number 3, how we can display the content of that file. Number 4, how we can copy a file. Number 5, how we can move that file to another destination. Number 6, how we can rename a file. Number 7, how we can delete a file. So let's get started. I'm going to log into my Ubuntu Linux machine, and I'm going to open the terminal, which I'm going to put right here so that it can be centralized. So what I normally did is that when I get here, you have to look at the directory where you are. So let's go ahead. So I cd so that I can cd to the root, and file listing, that's going to be ls. So here we can see that we're able to see all the files right here that we have. So meaning that we can actually, for example, we can cd, since we know the file name, so we can cd to desktop. Okay, now we're in desktop, we can do the same thing. Let's see what is on desktop. We have nothing, that's why we don't see anything there. So to go back, we just need to cd. Now we are back. Let's cd to documents. Let's see what we have in document. We don't have anything there, so let's cd back. Now we don't have anything in download because this is a fresh computer, and I don't have too much in this. Let's see, we don't have anything in download, but that is how you can actually use the command ls to list your file in the directory that you are, or in the main root directory. So with that being said, let's go ahead and create a file. So if you look at this, we have this, and we can list all the file right here. So how do we create an additional file? So let's understand something that maybe you can say, well, Peter, why this is actually color coded right now? Like you have this one with white and the other one is kind of purple or bluish color. So in Linux, whenever you create a file, they have a different, and also if it is a directory, we have a different color. So for example, if I make a directory right now, let's say I want to say, and this is not the part of this video, but I just want to show you, let's say I call it directory 1, and I'm going to use the same command of listing. You see that 1 is actually part of this, and it has a different color. So meaning that all these are just directory, while the file is actually different. So for me not to forget, so let me just go ahead and remove that one. Let me see, remove the one. What? Okay, I think I actually made some mistake. There you go. So if we go ahead and list right now, we notice that we don't have that one anymore in the directory because I've used a command to remove that directory. We will see that later. So now I think you understand, and you know that ls is for you to list your files and directory in Linux. So let's go to creating a file. How do we create a file? So let me clear this up by saying clear, so we can have a clean space. To create a file, all you have to do is to do touch, then what is the name of your file name. So here I'm going to call it, maybe I want to create a file that is called Costa Rica. And now how do we know we already create this file? We're going to use the first command to list. So that will actually show us that we are listing. And if you look at that, you see that we made a mistake, because in Linux, if you do space, that means that you are asking it to create two files. We can see here that we have Costa and we have Rika. So that means that the files are actually two files. So what I'm going to do right now to remove is just RM to remove the file. I want to remove the file that is called Rika, and I also want to remove the file that is called Costa. So if you go ahead and list the file again, you see that they are all gone. So how to create a file in Linux? Just go ahead and do touch and the name of your file. So in this time, this time I'm going to do Costa Rica together. So if we go ahead and use the list, then you see that Costa Rica is now a file. Like I mentioned, if you want to remove something, you just do RM, then I'm going to remove file name in this scenario. So I'm going to use a ls to actually publish it back. You see that we don't have that file name anymore, we have Costa Rica. So that is how you create a file in Linux. So going back to our number 3, let me do clear. Going back to number 3, which is displaying the file content. So now that we are able to list the file, if you wanted to see what is inside the file name, which we have actually created, so in this time we create Costa Rica. So what we have to do is that we have to say cat plus the file name, which is Costa Rica. In this case, we have that because we don't have anything in that file. But let's take a scenario that we actually have something in that file. So I wanted to put something in the Costa Rican file. I'm going to do echo parenthesis, and I'm going to say this is my first file, then greater than, and I'm going to pipe that into the Costa Rica file, and I'm going to put enter. So what happened is that, remember, we're going to list a file. We see that there's a file there, so we wanted to display the content of the file. So we're going to do cat, then the file name, which is Costa Rica. Now we have the result. This is my first file. That means that that is what we actually echo into that file. So we're able to see and display the content in the file. So now that you know that, let me now clear the screen. Number 4, how do we copy a file? So the command for copying a file is cp. Then we're going to say our source file is Costa Rica. So we want to copy to a destination where we want to say, let's say, you can put any name. I'm just going to put San Jose. You see, it's, oh no, that is it. So in this case, no, don't worry. So we're going to do CP Costa Rica. Then our destination, we don't have to put that destination, San Jose. So that is it. What happened is that if you go ahead and list, which is ls, you see that we have Costa Rica and we have San Jose right there. So meaning that you have actually copied what is inside Costa Rica to San Jose. How do we know that? Let's go and catch, remember how to display in the lesson 3, how to display the file content. So you want to do cat San Jose to see what is inside it. You see, this is my first file. If you do cat Costa Rica, you see that they have the same thing. So what you have done in the lesson 4 is that you have copied what is inside Costa Rica to San Jose. So let's do it again. Let's say I want to copy what is inside San Jose, and I want to copy it to maybe United States. So the same thing. So that means that if I go ahead and list, I should have 3 files: Costa Rica, San Jose, United States. So if I want to see what is inside the United States, I just put cat United States. Now you see that we have been copying the file all over and over again. So let's do clear so that we can actually go back to our have a clear screen. So number 5 is, how do we move a file from source to another place? So for example, let's move our file Costa Rica by doing MV. Okay, let's list to see how far. That's how far. So we're going to move it MV, and we're going to move Costa Rica. Then where do we want to move it to? Maybe you want to move Costa Rica to Africa. That's all you need to do. So if I do the listing right now, you see that Costa Rica has actually changed to Africa. So I can do the same thing to San Jose. I can move San Jose, move San Jose. I can move it to maybe Bahamas. Now if we go ahead and use our listing, you see that San Jose now renamed to and now moved to Bahamas. All right, so let's go on renaming the file. So it's the same command that we use to move. It's the same thing that we use to rename. Okay, you might be wondering, why would we use the same command? Because for example, if you move a file, you're actually moving everything inside that file. So if you rename it, you're just renaming it, the file, regardless of the content inside the file. For example, let's go do the same thing. It's MV. Let's go ahead and rename United States. Let's say now we wanted to go to London. So if we do the listing right here, you see that the United States file has actually been renamed to London. And if you want to see the contents inside London, you do cat London, and you see that it said there's no. Okay, I think we made a mistake here because it's case sensitive, so we should be able to see what is inside the file. Now the 7th one is how to delete a file. So let me clear. Remember that if you list your file, it's because you wanted to see what kind of file you have, and also you wanted to know how to delete that file. So in this case, delete is very simple. You just do rm. Then I want to delete London. Now it's gone. So if I do listing right here, you see that London disappeared. Let's say you want to delete multiple files. So let's give it a try. rm. I want to delete Africa, and I want to delete Bahamas. And that is it. Everything is gone. So guys, that is how you delete a file, you rename a file, you move a file, you copy a file, you display the content of the file, you create a new file, and you list everything in your directory. If you do have any question, you can always put it down in the comment section. Please, like I always say, if you do like this video, please, if you do like the content of this video, kindly subscribe, like, and share with your friend. Thank you so much. Be blessed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye for now.